Okay, guys. So I'm gonna show you guys something very interesting. I just put my first ever like fully realized web app online. It's just a website, and in fact, we'll just go to it and check it out. It's right here. It's live right now. Um, I can like change the language. Kind of cool. Um, and then it's got a couple different pages. It's got your development page, privacy policy, it's got your login page. It's got some other cool stuff. It's got like a calendar app and stuff. But that's not really what I'm interested in. My buddy was having a little bit of a problem registering for it, so I actually just put this website online last week, and this is the first time I've ever deployed like a full web app like this. That's like start to finish. It's built everything in the front end in React, and then the back end is all Node and Express. And then I put it on a Amazon EC2 running Ubuntu, and then I put the Node Express server behind a reverse proxy through Nginx, and it's got like all your bells and whistles, right? All the APIs are like configured correctly, and so my buddy was having trouble registering for it, and I was kind of waiting for like some videos to get approved from this company so I can like basically like do a big update to the website a week after putting it online, and then that's when I'm gonna like announce everything to everyone. So I go to the log manager because I have PM2, which is a process. It's just process manager 2 for my Node.js. And this is running directly on the Ubuntu EC2. So what you're seeing here is an SSH shell into just a random AWS machine that I'm running. And this last output was when I was like testing the site and doing normal stuff. And then I just find this crazy output. This is what the video is about, is what happens when you put a website online and the crazy things that robots are going to come and try to do to your website. So the first thing I see is about 500 billion requests for the index. Dude, I know my website is not that popular. And then I see a lot of requests for like specific things that are clearly meant to break this website. So it's still online after a week, and I believe that we haven't compromised anything, but let's go through this log and see what these hackers and bots are doing, because I think this is so fascinating. I've never done this before. Okay. All right. So a lot of index. We see calls to the root and then calls to index. So we have API IMv2 app config. What is that? I didn't make that route. Just slash API. API CA, API ping. Okay, just bots like trying to grab to my API, right? API business, API v1 config, events basic. Like these are not real things that I've programmed into my routes. API app index list, API common config. API. Look, this is clearly some shit that like a script is doing to try to like grab onto my website. API user is must mobile. Whatever that means. Currency quotation new. I mean, what is all this stuff? API stock, get single stock, do code. Just this like weird codes here. What is this? And like this literally must have been like, I don't know, like a matter of hours after registering the domain and putting it online. Like a matter of hours. API CA, API ping, API version, API business, API get custom link, v1 member kfu. A lot of calls to the index. A lot of just weird calls to the API where they're just shooting in the dark, trying stuff. API vendor, this string. A lot of calls to the index, and it goes on like this for like a long freaking time. And so I actually haven't even looked through this, but I'm just very excited to see people actively trying to break into my website, or like, I don't know, this many index calls like looks like a DDoS, but I think it's just a bunch of bots running around the internet. Um, yeah, I mean this is, I don't know what the time stamps are. Is this 32 minute 200? Is that a timestamp? But I mean, this all happened within a pretty short period of time. Um, and none of this like looks like normal traffic, right? Like none of these API calls are things that like my API is supposed to be doing. The only thing that's normal traffic is like people looking at the index, right? Um, this is so fascinating. So this is what happens when you put a website online is you just get a bunch of bots making pretty much these exact calls, right? I expect if you put a website online, you're going to get the same like API system config customer service link. Like bro, like that's clearly meant to exploit an API, right? And now luckily I have everything set up correctly, so I'm not seeing any responses. We're reviewing the whole log, and I have not looked at this before. So if there's something crazy in here, um, we're both going to see it. And I know my buddy went and tried to register and had a problem like a day after I put it online, and I haven't seen his request. That's what I was coming to look for. And I'm like, oh my god, I have to scroll through all of these requests, but like, look at all these. So many of them. These are all different requests. These are all GET requests. Here's some head requests. Here's a post request. He's just trying to post to root. Trying to post to root. You're just trying different stuff. It's like a shotgun. This is so cool. I hope this doesn't like run up my AWS costs. I mean, I think they're kind of used to dealing with stuff like this, and like I have like Helmet. I have all the stuff that's supposed to protect from like injection and cross-site scripting, and I'm not like a wizard or anything, but I just did like all the normal stuff that everyone's supposed to do when they deploy a web app. API. Oh look, they're trying to get the environment. They're doing calls environment local, environment production, environment staging. Wow, look at that. That is so clearly an attempt to break into a web app. Just get API and local, and then all three of these. Thank God I didn't send a response. And it's going to show the response if they hit on any of these. It's going to show it in real time. I mean, look at all these. This is so cool. This is so fucking cool to me. I was studying cybersecurity before I'd like went back into development, and this is so cool to like be looking at someone's real time attempts, or probably just like a whole collection of different scripts, like just 100 bots on the internet that just like listen to every web port like possible, and just look at these. Okay, look, this is a great list. This is clearly just like a list of every possible normal API endpoint that like full production servers are using. API dev info, API backend info.php. Look, oh, these are all PHP files. Yeah, I'm not even using PHP, dude. It's clearly just all automated. Look at all these index requests. This all had to happen within a day. I don't know how I'm gonna find my buddy's request. I'm gonna have to grep it. Grep that shit. I'm gonna have to probably output this whole text log to like my actual desktop, and then like I don't know, grep something. Here's an actual normal call. API user login. That looks normal. They just looked at the login page. They didn't actually log in. That might be like when my wife was looking around on it. Debug info, Q equals info. It's gonna be crazy if one of these actually hit and it like shows the response. I'm like, oh, I just got pwned. So much. DNS equals crazy string. What is this? Look at these strings. What are these? I feel like I would know these if actually here this is my favorite one. This is actually the one that made me want to do this video. Look at this. We got a GET request to root actions equals dzap download links and then like a whole bunch of like up folder etc password. That's crazy. API, it's a weird API experimental. These are clearly like things that are part of like a package that like has been like exploited. Look at now we get a bunch of post requests. They're posting. I wonder what they're posting. It doesn't. I can't tell if they're like actually posting something. This one's crazy. Array and vars, header vars. What is going on there? This is sick. I just realized I have OBS up the entire time. That looks probably so terrible. Oh man. Look at this, dude. They're trying to Stack Overflow. That's definitely like 256 A's right there. They're clearly trying to Stack Overflow. That's crazy. Or I don't know, just try to overflow the variable. Man. I am getting such a kick out of this. I guess this is what every sysadmin and like every like admin has to deal with every day. Like this can't be unusual. This has to be just normal everyday traffic for every website. I would be surprised if one of two or three of these people are like real people and the rest of them are just scripts that are just scrubbing through everything they can find. Look at these. API vendor, PHP unit, SRC, util, PHP, eval, stand-in, eval. Eval standard in. Ooh, we're trying to get that eval. XDE debug session. This is so cool. I could like grep everything that's not index and like put it to a script and then like make my own web application cracker just by running all of these same things. I wouldn't know what to do with it once I got them, but one of them ought to be misconfigured. A lot of them are PHP requests, head requests, more get and post requests. What's that one? A lot of these are PHPs. So don't use PHP, guys. Or maybe do. I don't know. I mean, everyone tells me PHP is like just kind of outdated and insecure. I've never bothered to learn it. It always seems like some like 10 years ago shit. I'm very happy with React and Node. Here. That's it. I never saw my buddy's request. That's crazy. Well, maybe it's in the error file. I don't know if I should show you the error file. But anyway, I thought that was really interesting, guys. Maybe you thought it was interesting too. Ciao.